customer is changing and it's evolving. And we as a brand need to change and evolve along with the customer. The difference is in the last 5 or 10 years, the changes are happening very rapidly. Not only is the consumer changing, but the technology with which the consumer to serve the customer better is changing. So as retailers, or whether we are in shopping centers or whatever we were doing, or even as a brand, we need to evolve very quickly. The demography of the customer is changing, the aspirations are changing, his knowledge is changing, his expectations are changing, and changing very rapidly. So whether you're a brand or whether you're a retailer or a shopping center, the need of the hour is to evolve very quickly with only one purpose in mind: to be able to serve the customer better, more efficient, and leave him satisfied and having met his needs.
I'd like to look at this whole scenario of changing experiences from a consumer point of view. What's happening is that the consumer mindset is changing and changing rapidly, because today the consumer, 4 years back, e-commerce was not a reality. Today it is. But with e-commerce, really, it shouldn't be a fashion statement. But actually what's happening is, from a developer point of view, we have taken cognizance of the changing thought process of consumers, and we are creating spaces which are much more dynamic. I'll give you an example. There are shops that we are trying to do, say in a Mall of India, which is much more technologically forward, wherein the consumers can come and see a particular outfit and see how that outfit will look on themselves, look at different colors, different sizes, without having to go into a trial room. So we are really looking at technology and use of technology to ensure that the consumers get a different experience. So we would like to view this whole thing as much more consumer-centric. The moment it's consumer-centric and it is also dynamic from what the consumer wants, I believe top line is there, and we have experimented it also in another category, which is entertainment. DLF has never ever looked at investments or giving large spaces for entertainment. In Mall of India, which is a mall that we are opening, 25% of the space has been dedicated to entertainment. Why? Because they are, again, new experience zones for consumers. So you shop, you also experience a certain entertainment, which is what, in fact, that entire topography, including the other projects around Noida, Mr. Baldev's project, all of them have got a lot more entertainment quotient, and I think this will change the dynamic of the way malls business is being viewed in the next few months.
E-commerce is affecting the outlet malls, not more so the regular shopping malls, because people buy on the internet for discounts.
Cities like Ludhiana, Amritsar, 14, 15, 20 malls in a city where they require only 2 malls. So it was a rush, mad rush. Now things are consolidating and the developers are thinking better and evolving the designing, the planning, which is an important factor. Nobody thought at that time that planning is a thing which the developer should be concentrating on, or the visuality, the how the shops should look, what should be the circulation of the customer, how they should move. So that was an important factor which was never taken into consideration. But since the malls failed, few did good, now the people are learning why the good mall is doing better. So this circulation planning and everything and the requirement of a city is what developers are thinking about, and now they are planning according to that. I don't think there's any reduction of footfall in the malls. Whenever you go on the weekends, they are full. There's no parking space. So the people are coming, and what they now want is experience. And that is our strength. The mall, they are giving an experience to the family, and the family can spend some time together there on the weekends. So that is our strength. So that is what we should be working more on. I always believe, and in our company we believe, we should always work on our strengths. And our strength is that the malls, they give some experience and some time to the family. And it is never going to end E-commerce is coming, that is a different ball game. It will be staying there, it will expand, but it will not hurt malls if we are doing it in the right way.
Malls make money as long as malls do the job right. I mean, we are pretty much like the automobile industry. You can't be selling Ambassador in 2015. You can't be selling Ambassadors. You have to create the new look vehicles. You got to create the new look shopping malls. You got to design the future. We are not somebody who's going to hope that some god from there will come and create the future for us. We got to design the future. So the shopping centers, the retail spaces of future has to be designed by these very people who are there in this industry, probably in this room. And that's where, you know, people like Binoy are doing a sterling job. I remember the shopping malls before Binoy and after Binoy. I mean, it's been a huge change. The market cities, we have seen how Phoenix market cities have changed prior to them and after them. So I think one, shopping centers need great design. And we got to understand that consumers are changing. They are getting exposed to new things all the time. They are looking for exciting things. So either we give it to them or they go elsewhere. So there is no choice. How do we make money? That's our problem. I mean, who is asking you to put marble that is worth 5,000 rupees on the floor? Go for tiles, go for stone. In fact, I remember there was this architect from South Africa, a part of the Bendel team. They went crazy over quota. It cost us 40 rupees a square foot at that point of time. They said, we want quota in the mall. So what stops us from thinking innovative finishes that is going to cost you less, but is still going to add value to the end consumer? Spend that rupee elsewhere. Nobody talks about fit-out design. That's where the real experience is. I mean, Phoenix, Innovate, all of those, even DLF today, they have invested in creating better retail fit-out designs. That's where the experience is going to get created. And for God's sake, 70% of the mall is the retailers. But the developers focus 80% of the effort in common areas, which is just 30% of the space. So I think that's where the second key area of excellence is.